time to talk about Mission. Don't forget that Mission is brought to you by the European Union, Danida, and the UK Aid, being powered by Star Ghana. Now, we've been recording some great results in the Upper West region. Two of the districts that we've been visiting, the Wa East and the Dafiama Busie Isa district. This morning, we're focusing our attention in Wa East, where a school at Yaru is receiving great support. That school, that community now has a new school building. The kids are happy. The teachers are excited that at least education has seen some improvement. Watch this.
Sometimes you read, but the snake can come with you. The teachers can run out about the snake. The teachers fear the snake before the last 2 weeks. We killed another snake with this in this class. You will be afraid. You can't let. Anytime you see like this and like this, sometimes you might afraid.
This is Osman Nassif, a final year pupil. That was a story a year ago when we met him at the Yaru Junior High School in Wa East. Studying was a challenge. The school building posed danger to pupils. Poor performance at the BEC was the evidence. Pupils scored very poor grades.
During the rainy season, we find it difficult to teach because looking at the structure, if it is just the sign of raining, we have to just let them close, whether it's time for closure or not, because you see the structure of this building, it can fall down at any time.
Several of them could not continue after junior high school. The community was disturbed. Mission's constant interaction with authorities of Wa East started yielding results.
When I entered the classroom, I realized that any time you happen to have a sign of rain, then it means that the students will have to go home and the teachers too have to vacate the place and leave because it's actually threatening. If we are there and it is raining, I think you see the kind of dangers that you will be exposed to. I think that one has necessitated this kind of project that we are coming to give to you so that the students, when they come, they will sit comfortably without any panic of anything.
That was the beginning of a journey of hope. Construction started, and in 4 months, the structure was ready. Pupils of Yaru Junior High School now have a conducive environment to study.
Definition of a speech. The Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English defines a speech as an act of speaking formally to a group of people.
The community has for years been neglected. The education of their children was in jeopardy. All this has changed. Yaru now boasts of a beautiful school structure for its junior high school.
It has impacted us greatly because as compared to this one, when you are here, you are comfort, you are safe, and then you always concentrate on the students, and then they also put focus on you.
Osman Nassif is now a happy pupil. He promised me excellent grades at the BEC.
The learning is going very good, and the teachers are teaching you no fear in your heart. If at that time you are teaching, but the snakes has deceiving you because of that, the learning is not being in your mind.
Like his other schoolmates, they are no longer shy coming to school due to the poor building.
I feel happy because the school is building so much. I'm learn hard and others learn hard because she feel happy to have a new building.
The assembly says it is committed to improving education in the district. Yaru Junior High School, however, needs more help. The new facility has a library, but it is empty as of now.
I must be frank that the assembly has not taken any steps to provide books for them. But when I went around most of the JHS in the district, I realized that none of them is having any good library. So because of that, we have included provision of library books, reading books and all those things in our 2019 budget.
What is left is for this library to be finished. A beautiful edifice, but without books and furniture. The assembly will take time to finish the library. School authorities and people are asking or appealing to benevolent organizations and the district assembly to come in and finish the library and help them to learn to read and write. Bright Nananfo, TV3, Yaru. All right, so we'll continue our conversation on Wa East and education in general. My guests, I told you earlier, MP for Wa East, Honorable Godfrey Bayon, and MP for German North Constituency, Honorable Shekhar Stevens, also the chair of Parliament Select Committee on Education. Welcome to my studios.
Thank you.
Let's start with the Honorable Member of Parliament for Wa East. So, education getting a lot of support in your constituency. What is the commitment to ensure that what is left is completed?
Thank you very much, Mr. Bright. And thank you, Missing Ghana, for all the wonderful work that you've been doing over the last 2 years or so. Indeed, we all know that infrastructure, especially school infrastructure in the form of classrooms, in the form of libraries, in the form of laboratories and whatever, are the things that enhances teaching and learning in any school. So for the past years, or for a long time in Wa East, most of these things were lacking. As you showed the earlier pictures of the dilapidated classrooms that were shown, how could any child learn effectively in under such circumstances or environment? But thank God, my party and my government, since any time we come into government, we have tried to do a lot to improve this infrastructure. In fact, we have done a lot of school blocks in the district. The people of Wa East know that anytime MPP comes to power, they know we are targeting these things, and then we improve a lot of their conditions. So we are very grateful for you prompting and showing it to the world that something is happening, because people are always in the air, branding a lot of lies. People go to the extent of saying that since MPP came to power, we haven't even built one school, put up one school block, which is not true. There are many of these. There are quite a number of these blocks that you have shown in the Wa East that have been put over the last 2 years or so. So we are very grateful to you for doing that. And I, as the MP, want to ensure that, as far as I personally don't have the money to do these classrooms, but the little monies that I get, I also try to put in equipments or things that children would need, like textbooks, like SI books, like mathematical sets and all those little things, but that enhances the child's effectiveness in learning. I try to do those things. And so for me, I'm always collaborating with the DCE, I'm collaborating with even the Ministry of Education in Accra here. From time to time, I visit them and I try to put my problems across to them, and they try to help. So as an MP, I get committed to it that we will continue to put up infrastructure in all the schools, or any of the schools that do not have these classrooms. I know with classrooms, learning is enhanced, because the teachers feel comfortable, the children feel comfortable, and then they have a very serene mind to tackle their classroom.
We'll come to talk about other committees in the constituency, but let me go to the chair of Parliament's Select Committee on Education. In terms of education and providing for basic schools, what is the direction?
Well, thank you, Mr. Bright. My regards to cheerers, viewers, and
Ghanaians. But we have to say, commend you for this exercise that you are doing. It tells you that infrastructural deficit in the country, so far as education is concerned, cannot be handled by one person alone. It takes different forms, angles here and there. And exactly what you are doing is to project and tell Ghanaians and the whole world where we are now. And looking at the picture so far, it tells us that we don't have priority right. Our priority settings are not right in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of everything. And all this is because of who should take credit politically. This, that. And when we can, we do it in a rush. And therefore, bit by bit, we tackle them and we don't complete. So when it happens like that, these are the challenges that we face. And thank God you are in, as TV3 is in, to project all these things. In fact, that is why this regime, the Parliamentary Select Committee, has used, the Get Fund is using 40% of it to secure a loan about 7.2 billion Ghana cedis. That's 1.5 billion US dollars to take care of all infrastructure deficits in the country, started by Atamel's, your mama, the present regime, so that all, by 4 years' time, we should be able to eliminate all infrastructure deficits in the country. A regime will come and leave the scene. Another regime will come. For 10 or 20 years, nobody will talk about infrastructure deficit again. And that will mean that we'll be setting the priorities right when it comes to education. So the other 60% will also be used side by side with this thing. And this money is, the first tranche is coming, right, which is about 2.3 billion. And it's equivalent to, what do you call it, 5 million US dollars, billion dollars. So this
That's
amount,
the first tranche.
The first tranche. And it is categorized into critical SHS projects, critical infrastructure to universities, those who enter universities with the free SHS and double track. The government is taking care at the tertiary level. So we should start now. And that is what is happening. Laboratory, dormitory, dining hall, you name them. All these things are deficits. They remain uncompleted. So government is seeking loan to complete all these things. And what is going around is everywhere. It cut across the country. In my constituency, for instance, Jamandorf. This is Sampa Islamic. And that is where KG block, since time immemorial, KG block.
That's what they've been using.
They've been using.
Another effort to get this replaced?
Yes, Nanado has come with a vision that all KG block, about 1,000 of them, should be built. And this one has been built to replace it.
Okay, hold it for the camera. So this is the new block.
This is the new block
replacing the old one.
This is the new block to replace the new ones. And it has everything. Siesta, if the child wants to relax, everything is inside. When the child enters here in this classroom, he comes out as if he has now been bathed. And everything is there.
Okay.
It's a new set. If you want to build education, the foundation should not be left. You should have a solid foundation. Education facilities these days, children compare schools, facilities available, and it serves as a motivation or demotivation. If their facilities are not good like the way you've shown us, people will not attend school, and because their mates elsewhere will be making mockery of them.
Let me ask for Honorable Bayon. For instance, Yaru's library, exactly how should we support them to get the library finished and fixed with books?
Well, there are a lot of options. Either one, the district assembly may have to purchase some books. I, as the MP, if I also acquire some books, I can add to the stock. Or we can appeal to NGOs that have education at heart to also come in and complement. Because for a library, I don't think even the stock of books should just come from one source. It should come from different sources so that it is a variety.
And that's a promise that you at least help to facilitate.
Yes, that. I will. I will. Because Yaro actually is in my heart. Why? Because that is a community in Sabride that since 1992 Our party have tried and tried and tried to win that box there. Okay. We have always failed until last elections. 2016, we won the place. So we at least this will let them know that they have now gone for the right choice.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up the conversation. Sorry about that. We promise to get you more of this later on. My guests have been a Member of Parliament for German North Constituency and the Chair of Parliament Select Committee on Education, Honorable Shekhar Stevens, and Member of Parliament for Wa East, Honorable Godfrey Bayon. Thanks so much for your time, and thanks for joining us this morning.